Hello everyone, welcome back to Genius Knowledge Point, your one place for practical programming solutions for computer and IT students. I am making this video to provide practical knowledge to all students so that you can develop your own programs which will be helpful for your studies as well as career. In this video we are going to perform practical number 5 of Java programming, which is under Diploma Computer and IT case scheme and 4th semester. So as I have said earlier, it is not just limited to diploma students. Anyone who wants to learn Java programming can follow these videos because the syllabus is almost same. All the topics that are covered in diploma are also available to other syllabus also. So moving toward the practical. So in this practical, what we are going to use? We are going to use array and vectors. So initially we will be using array here and then we will be using vectors. So moving toward the practical related questions. So first question is, write a program to implement multi-dimensional array. So what is an array? As we have seen in C and C++ programming, an array is a set of same data type elements. So whenever we are creating an array can be having multiple elements, but their data type should be same. So that is a general definition of an array in C or C++. The same definition is applicable to Java programming. We will be creating an array having multiple values with same data type. So the same concept is there in Java programming. So moving toward the question and writing the program for this question. So what we have to do, we have to use a multi-dimensional array. So what is a multi-dimensional array? An array having 2 or more dimensions, so that becomes multi-dimensional array. Generally an array is having single dimension, but if we create a multi-dimensional array, it is having 2 or more dimensions. So moving toward the program directly. So initially I am importing util package as import java.util.star. So why this package is needed? Whenever we are going to use scanner class in our program, we are going to use this package, and the detailed practical related to packages will be available in future lectures. So this is the import statement. Then I am creating a class definition, that is public class, and then class name I am assigning as array demo. So this is the class name which is same as file name. Then creating a main function, public static void main string args, opening main function bracket. So inside it I am creating a scanner class object, that is scanner scn is equal to new scanner and system.in. So this step is already seen in our practical number 3. So that's why we have taken util package here, because it is available from util package. Next I am writing a message using system.out.println, enter number of rows. So as we are doing program for multi-dimensional array, so for that purpose we have to accept number of rows and number of columns, then only it will become multi-dimensional array. For that purpose I am first accepting number of rows. So I am taking integer variable as int row is equal to scn, which is a scanner object, dot next int. So whatever the integer pressed by user, that will be accepted using scn object, and that value will be stored into row variable. So this is how the row is accepted. Next I am writing a second message, enter number of columns, and again I am using same method, int call is equal to scn dot next int. So whatever the number entered by user, that will be stored into column, and that will be column value. Next we have to create an array. So in Java, whenever we want to create an array, how we create it? Int. So I want to create an integer array, so that's why I have taken int. So this is the data type. Then after that we have to attach 2 square brackets. So this defines an array symbol, but here I have enclosed opening closing 1 square bracket, then again opening and closing of another square brackets. So what it denotes? It denotes that my array is having 2 dimensions. So that's why I have taken opening closing of 1 square bracket plus another square bracket. So this defines it is an 2-dimensional array. Then arr is the array name is equal to new int, because it is an integer array. So that's why I am writing new int, and in bracket we have to pass size. So how to define size? We have accepted already the number of rows and number of columns. So this row value will be number of rows, that is our outer dimension, and col value will be number of columns, that will be our inner dimension. So this is how we have created two-dimensional array having row number of rows and col number of columns. And whenever we want to create a new array, we have to attach a new keyword here, because if you write this statement only, it will not create an array. It will not create an array, it will just declare an array, and the memory assignment will not be done here. So that's why we have to use new keyword here, and using new keyword only we can create an array and it has having memory assignment. So this is how array is defined, and this is how only the array is declared. The highlighted part is declared only. So the array is created here. Next, I am writing a simple message, enter array elements. So I want to accept array elements one by one. For that I am writing a message, I am giving user that message. Then after that, as we have seen, this is a two-dimensional array. So for that purpose we have to use nested loop. So I am creating one for loop, that is for int I is equal to 0. As we know, array location always starts from 0, so for that purpose int I is equal to 0, then semicolon I is less than row. So whatever the number present inside row value, that will be taken, and as we are starting from 0 we have to take less than 1, so that's why I have printed less than symbol, then I++. So this is the outer for loop. So inside it I am again using another for loop, that is for int j is equal to 0, j is less than col, so that is column value, and j++. So this is inner for loop, and inside it I am writing arr in bracket locations, that is I then j. So in square bracket we have to pass locations. So ith location and jth location value will be taken, and that will be our location of particular number, is equal to scn.nextInt. So whenever user enters any number, that will be gone to jth location of ith row. This is how the number will be accepted into array, and this is how our entire array will be accepted, because we have used a nested loop. So it will repeat number of rows and times number of columns. So the entire two-dimensional array will be accepted here. Next, the array is accepted, now we have to print it. So for that purpose I am just printing a simple message, multi-dimensional array is. Then after that again I am starting nested loop, because I want to print it, and for that purpose again I have to use nested loop. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than row, I++. Inside it I am creating another loop, that is for int j is equal to 0, j is less than col, j++. Then I am writing system.out.print. I am not writing here println, because there is a difference between print and println. So whenever we are writing println, that means our cursor is moved to next line after printing our message. But in case of print method, our cursor will not move to next line, it will print in front of that location. So that's why I have used print, because I want to print all the numbers in matrix format. So that's why I have used a print here. So arr I and j. So this is the location, it will print jth location number from ith row, and after that it is writing /t. So this will be repeated j times, and after that I am writing system.out.println. So I want to move my cursor to next line, for that purpose I am writing println method here. So after writing a single row, it will move to next line, and again it will start writing next numbers. So this is how the nested loop will be working. So if you know C++ programming, you have seen this in C++ also, in case of matrix programming, so matrix numbers. So this is how both the for loops are ended. Now the main function is ended and class is also ended here. So next I have to save this class. I have already saved it on my location. So I am going to that location, that is I have created separate folders. So practical number 5 is my location. So to open CMD, here I have to click on this white area, then write CMD and press enter on keyboard. It will automatically open CMD here. Now I have to run Java commands, so that is java c to compile, and our file name is array demo. So I am just copying it and going to command prompt and pasting it there and attaching extension there. So javac array demo.java is the file name, followed by javac command. So I am pressing enter on keyboard. So there is no error, that means program is successfully compiled. Then I am writing second command as java space file name, that is array demo. So it is asking me to enter number of rows. So I am entering number of rows as 3. Then it is asking me to enter number of columns. So I am writing 2. So now it is asking me to enter array elements. So I have to enter multiple numbers and I have to press enter on keyboard. So I am just entering those numbers 5, 8, then 7, then 6, 9 and 3. So if you see, the output is printed as multi-dimensional arrays. So this is the message that we have printed, and it has printed 5, then 8. As we have seen inside loop, we have used /t here, and after that, after completion of j iteration, we have moved to next line. So that's why it is printed other numbers to next line. So this is how we have printed an array in matrix format, and this is an array having 2 dimensions, that is number of rows as 3 and number of columns as 2. So this is how multi-dimensional array is accepted and printed here, and our first question is completed. Now the second question is write a program to display array elements using for each loop. So in this program again we have to use array here, and we are going to use for each loop for using that array or printing that array. And as the dimensions are not mentioned here, we will be using single dimension array only. So let us move to the code directly. So initially we have to use import statement. So I am writing import java.util. Instead of scanner I am writing star here, because we will see that in later practicals. So import java.util.star and semicolon, because we are going to use scanner in our main function. Then definition of the class, that is public class name. So I am writing class name as array demo1. So this is the class name, is same as file name. Then definition of the main function, so public static void main in bracket string array args. So opening of the main function, first I am creating scanner object. So scanner scn is equal to new scanner, and in bracket I have to pass input stream, that is system.in. Then I am creating an array, that is int opening closing square bracket. So here only one square bracket is used, that means we are using one dimensional array only. So arr is the array name, is equal to, we have to use new keyword for creating new array, then data type, and in square bracket we have to pass size. So this is how an arr variable is created, which is an array of integer having 5 as a size. Next I am writing a message, that is enter array elements. Next I am using for loop, because we are accepting elements for array which are multiple. So for that purpose we have to use a loop, and I am using for loop as int I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. And I am writing arr I, that is in arr variable, that is array variable, ith location will be filled with scn.nextInt. So whatever the number is entered by user, that will be taken and that will be stored into ith location, and I will be incrementing inside our loop. So automatically it will be repeated 5 times and 5 numbers will be stored into array. Next I have to print that array, but this time I have to use for each loop. So how the syntax is used here? So first I am writing a message, that is entered arrays. So this is just a message part. So how to use for each loop? I am writing for, then inside bracket, that is round bracket of for loop, int I colon arr. So whatever the value is present inside arr, that will be taken into I variable. So instead of I am just taking another variable, that is j. That will be easy to understand because I will be repeated here. So for int j and colon arr. So all the values from arr will be taken, and those values will be taken into j one by one. That's why it is called for each loop. So this is similar to Python programming. So int j will be storing arr, that is array elements, and those elements will be printed one by one using this system.out.println, and this loop will be repeated till ARR is having numbers. As soon as the numbers are ended or the ARR size is ended, it will return false and we will move out of the for loop. So this is how the for each loop is used in our Java programming. This loop is not generally used, so this is not frequently used mostly. So closing the main function, then closing the class, then saving the class using arraydemo1.java file. So if you see, arraydemo1.java file is saved in my location. So going to that location, initially I am closing all the CMDs which I have already opened. So to compile this, first I have to open CMD. So I am writing CMD here and pressing enter. Then I have to use a javac command, then array demo1. So this is our Java file. So .java extension will be there. So javac array demo1.java, then pressing enter. So there is no error, that means our program is successfully compiled. Then next I am writing java space array demo1. So this is the file name without any extension. So it is asking me to enter array elements. We have to enter 5 elements because the array size is taken as 5. So 6, 9, 8, 3 and 1. So after all the elements are entered, it is printing entered array is. So this is the message that we have printed, and it has printed all the elements one by one using for each loop. So 6, 9, 8, 3, 1. All the elements as we have entered, these are printed here. So this is how for each loop can be used, and this is generally used whenever we don't know the size of an array, because we have not mentioned any size here. We are directly passing array variable here, and automatically it will do the looping part. It will repeat it till the elements are present inside our array. So this is how the second question is completed. Now the next question is about vector, that is, write a program to insert different elements in the vector and display them. So this is the question, and before starting our coding or before starting our program, we have to see what is vector. So before that, we have seen array in Java programming, which is similar to C and C++ programming. In C programming, the array is having set of elements of same data type. Similarly in Java also, the array definition is same. It is storing multiple elements of same data type. But there are some limitations regarding array, that in array we cannot insert any new element inside our particular location. So inside array we cannot add at particular location new element or remove any element from array which is in between. And array is not expandable. That means whenever we are creating an array, its size is fixed. So we can add those elements up to that size, but we cannot extend that array. So these are some limitations which are regarding array, and those limitations are also present in Java programming. So for that purpose, we are going to use a new class. So that is a vector class, which is similar to array, but it has some extra features that will be overcoming array's limitations. So that's why vector class is created in array, and that is a class which is having some constructors as well as functions. So vector is similar to array, but it can be expanded or it can be shrink according to its element size. So that is the definition of vector, and you can extend it and you can also shrink it. So how we can extend or shrink our vector? Because we have some methods available inside our vector class. Using those methods we can extend it as well as shrink it. So let us move to the coding part of this vector class. So this is the code which I have designed for vector program. So initially I am importing java.util package. So if you see in my program, I haven't used a scanner class, but still util package is needed here. Why it is needed? Because we are going to use vector class here, and vector class is having inside util package. So that's why util package is imported here. So next I am defining a class, that is public class vector demo. So this is the main class. Then inside it I am defining main function, that is public static void main string and command line argument, that is string array. Then after that I am starting a curly bracket, that is starting of main function. Inside it I am creating an object of vector class, that is vector v is equal to new vector. In Java we have already seen that whenever we want to create an object we will be having this syntax. So class name space object name is equal to new class name and a constructor bracket. Here I am creating an empty vector because the bracket of constructor is empty. So this is the default constructor I am calling, and there is no element is added inside this vector class. So next I am creating an integer variable int x is equal to 30. So it is having a 30 value and the variable name is x. Then I am creating integer I. So this integer is the class name which is present in our Java programming. So integer space I, that is the object name, is equal to new integer, and in bracket I am passing x variable which is having 30 value. So it will create an integer object whose name is I and it is storing value as a 30. So why I am creating this object? Because whenever we want to add vectors elements, in that case we have to pass objects only. Vector is accepting multiple data types. So unlike array is storing single data type elements, but inside vector we can add multiple data type elements, but the condition is we have to pass their objects. So that's why I am creating here an object of integer class, and I am passing that object inside add method which is applied on v object. So v is the vector object, so v dot add. So this is the method of vector class. It will add this I variable or I object inside our vector. So this is how I am adding object of integer class inside my vector, which is properly assigned, because I cannot directly add any other integer because it is accepting objects only. The vector class is accepting objects only. So first integer is added, then second I am calling v dot add. I am calling this add method again, but in bracket I am passing new integer, and in bracket I am passing value as a 60. This is the number. So again what it will do, it is creating a dynamic object, and that object is created using new keyword. So this is the creation of integer object, and the value of that object is 60, which I am passing inside my constructor bracket. So it will create a dynamic object of this integer, and that will be added to our vector. This is called dynamic object creation, but the limitation is there is no name or object name is assigned here. So there is no name assigned like I. So that's why it will be used only once. Again I am calling the same method, v dot add new integer, and this bracket I am passing 90. So it will be accepting integer object which is having 90 value, and that will be added into our vector. Next again I am calling v dot add method. Inside it I am passing new character, and in bracket I am passing one character variable, one character value, that is a in single quotes. So this is the character value, and new character will create an character object of this character value, and that will be added to our vector. So this is how the vector has added multiple elements which is having different data types, because if you see, 3 values are having integer objects and the 4th value is having character object. So this is how we have added objects inside our vector, which is properly accepted. Next, the adding part is done here. Now to display we have to use loop, because vector is similar to array, it is storing multiple elements. So for that purpose we can use loop. So for that purpose I am using for loop. So for, in bracket I am passing int j is equal to 0. I am not taking I because I is already taken for integer object. So j is equal to 0, then j is less than v dot size. So this is another method I have called here. So v dot size will return me the total number of elements which are present inside my vector class. So currently whatever the numbers are or whatever the count is present inside my vector, so that value will be returned here, and that will become v dot size. So the size is returning total number of elements present inside our vector class. So next I am adding as j++. So this is the for loop syntax. Then inside it I am just using println statement, system.out.println v.elementAt. So this is another method I am using on vector object, that is v.elementAt, and in bracket I am passing j. So what it will do, it will return me the element which is present at location j. So according to our for loop, initially it will return me element at a location 0, then 1, then 2 and 3 and so on up to the size is present, or this for loop will run. So this is how all the elements will be returned here, and that will be printed in front of the user using this println method. So this is how we have added some elements inside our vector, and we have added using objects. Then we have printed all the elements which is present inside our vector using for loop. So next, main function is complete and class is also completed. So I am just copying this vector demo name because I want to save this using this name, that is vector demo should be our class name as well as file name. So I have already saved it. So I will directly go to my location where my class is present. I am going to that location. So this is the location where I have saved my file. So to run this program I have to open cmd first. So typing cmd here, then first thing is to enter javac command and I will paste it. So if you see, I have copied the name from this notepad++ and I have pasted it. So what it will do, it will not have any mistakes in our typing of our program name or class name, because many time what happens, whenever we type our code here and we type our commands here, what happens, mistakes happen, and that time we get an error of class not found. So that's why I'm doing it. So vector demo.java should be there because we are compiling Java file. So javac vector demo.java, this is the command for compiling our program. So after entering, you will see these notes in type of vector program. So the note is similar to warning in C and C++, so you just have to ignore it. The program is compiled successfully. If the program is not compiled successfully, then you will see an error. So there is no error, so that means program is successfully compiled and you have to ignore the notes. So next command is Java command. So Java space class name, then pressing enter on the keyboard. So if you see, all the elements are printed as we have added them. So first it has printed 30, 60, 90 and character is printed, which is inside our vector class. So this is how we can create a vector of using vector class. Then we can add multiple elements using their objects. Then we can display vector elements using for loop and size method and elementAt method. This is how this question is completed. Now the fourth question is write a program to use different methods of vector class. So again we have to use vector class here. We have to use multiple methods which are available inside our vector class. So there are lots of methods available, but we will be using some of them. So directly moving toward the program. So initially I am importing java.util package. So as we have seen in earlier that whenever you want to use scanner, you have to use util package, but here in vector also you have to use util package. So I am importing java.util.star, then starting class definition as public class vector demo1. So this is the class name. Then starting main function as public static void main string array of string. Then inside main function I am creating one object of vector class, that is vector v is equal to new vector. So initially this v is empty vector because there is no value is assigned inside our constructor bracket. So initially the vector will be having no value or no element. Next I am creating object of scanner class, that is scanner sc is equal to new scanner and system.in, that we have to use whenever we want to accept input from user. Next I am creating some variables, that is int num. So num comma n comma loc. So these are the variables that I have created for my program. So num is integer variable, n and loc also having integer data type. Next printing a simple message, that is enter the total elements in vector. So what I have to do, I want to accept number of elements that I want to add inside my vector. So that is enter the total elements in vector. So this is the message that will be printed in front of the user, and it is asking user that enter some number. So that number will be accepted using n is equal to sc.nextInt. So we have already seen that using scanner object we can call nextInt method, which will be accepting integer value and that is stored into n variable here. Now I am starting for loop. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. As we have seen in the arrays, whenever we want to accept multiple elements inside array, we use for loop. Similarly, I want to accept multiple elements inside my vector, so I am again starting a for loop here, and the starting location is 0, similar to an array. Next, I am printing a simple message, enter the vector element. So that will be printed in front of the user, that is enter the vector element, this is the message. And using scanner.nextInt method, what I am doing, I am accepting that integer into num value. So that is the num variable which I have already declared here. So that will be accepted into num. Then I am calling add method of vector class, that is v.add, and inside it I am passing new integer, and in integer class bracket I am passing num value. So what it will do, it will create a new integer object, and the value of that object will be the value of num, which is accepted using our nextInt method. Next, the for loop is completed here. Next statement is system.out.println. Then inside it I am writing message as the current vector is. So this is the message part which is enclosed in double quotes, and after that I am attaching plus v. So the v object is attached here, and that v object will print all the elements which are present in our vector. So this is how we can print our vector also. So there is one more method, that is we can use a for loop. So the current vector is plus v, it will display me all the elements which are present inside my vector, which we have accepted using for loop. Next, I am printing a message replacing first element. So this in this message I am just printing replacing first element, and after that I am calling set method, which is v.set. In bracket I am passing two parameters. First parameter is 0, comma, second parameter is 21. So what it will do, it will replace the element at location 0, which is our first element, and that will be replaced by this number, that is 21. So this is how we are replacing the first element with 21. Next, I am printing statement, the new vector is, so this is the message part, and plus I am printing v object. So again it will display me the entire vector which is present, and in that vector the first element will be showing 21 value. Next, I am writing system.out.println, enter the location to be deleted. So this time I want to delete particular element from the vector, and for that purpose I am accepting location from user. So for that purpose I am using loc variable which we have created earlier. So loc is equal to sc.nextInt. So using this nextInt method, that number will be accepted, and that number will be stored into loc variable, and that is our location that we want to delete. Next, I am using v.removeElementAt. So this method is used to remove particular element at given location. So removeElementAt is the method name, and in bracket we have to pass a number, that is index of that particular element we have to pass, and that index is passed using loc variable. So this is how the location is given here, and using this location the element will be removed. Next, I am again printing the vector using system.out.println, elements in vector are and plus v. So again the vector is printed, and we will see the vector which is displayed here. Next, the main method is complete, and finally class is also complete. So I am saving this program at my location, and I have to go to that location using my file explorer. So I have opened my file explorer and opened the location. Then I am typing cmd here. So first I have to compile this program using this file name. So that is vector demo1. So for that purpose I am copying it, then writing command javac space, then pasting it here and attaching extension, that is .java. So javac vector demo1.java, and pressing enter. If you see, there is no error, notes are printed, which I have explained in previous program. So the program is compiled properly. Next command is to run this program, that is java space file name without any extension, and pressing enter on keyboard. So it is asking me to enter total elements in the vector. So I am entering 5. I want to add 5 elements. I am just randomly putting some numbers. If you see in for loop, you have taken new integer, so you have to enter numbers only, otherwise it will give you an error. So all the 5 elements are accepted here. So next statements are run here. The current vector is, so this is the message which we have printed. Then after that we have attached v variable, v object, so it is showing me the vector which we have accepted here. So 45 is the first number, then 78, 89, 23 and 12. So all the numbers are displayed and which are added inside our vector using for loop. Next I am running, replacing the first element. So this is the message, and after that we have run this set method, that is v.set, and 0 is the location where we are replacing with 21. So replacing the first element and the new vector is printed as, if you see, the 45 number is replaced here with 21 because we have replaced it using set method. So all the elements are present except 45 is replaced with 21. Next we have accepted the enter location to be deleted. So enter the location to be deleted. So suppose I want to delete location number 2. So I am entering 2 here and pressing enter. So if you see, the new vector is created as 21, 78 and 89 is deleted from our vector. So if you see, 89 is not present here, that is location number 2. And if you see, our vector is automatically growing according to our for loop. So whenever we are adding some elements into our vector is automatically growing. And whenever I have deleted one element from my vector, it has shrinked to 4 elements also. So this is how vector is dynamic according to our definition. So this is how we have used multiple methods of vector class, and this program is ended. Also practical number 5 is ended, which was regarding array elements, using array, then multi-dimension array, then using and accepting array and displaying array elements, then using vector class and their respective methods. So that's it for today's practical. I hope you understand the program clearly. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such programming solutions, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. Thanks for watching and happy coding.